Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a few things that you should know before you get a bearded dragon. This is a collab with Mia. Her videos are much more informative. Mine's are more of like a funny thing to do. So if you want to check her video out and definitely get a lot of information on them, you should go check it out. I'll leave it in the description and I'll also put her video right here. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so the first thing that I'm going to pretty much make aware before getting even any type of pet is do your research. I have seen so many videos on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I've seen it all and how people don't really know how to take care of a bearded dragon. The tank's too small, they don't have the right heating, they're not eating right. Definitely do your research before getting a bearded dragon, because even though they pretty much are an easy animal, there is a lot to them and they are complex to understand their behavior and what they need. So once you get the hang of it, it's easy, but at first it's going to take a while to learn. I had to do months of research before I got fit, so I didn't have to, but I definitely wanted to ensure that her life was the best that it could be. So you definitely want to do your research, and if you don't want to, look at all the words and stuff, because I know that was hard for me, you can also check out people's videos, including mine. I did make a care video on bearded dragons. I basically do my whole channel on bearded dragons and fits, so literally you come to my channel for anything you want to know about these lizards. Another thing I know a lot of you bearded dragon owners know already, and you definitely comment them on my videos, but bearded dragons are very conceited. They sit on a throne, they sit on a silver platter, you're their pet, they run you. This isn't your pet, you're basically getting an owner. Because they're gonna tell you what they like, they're gonna do what they wanna do. They're definitely not a pet, it's more like a roommate. Have you ever seen a bearded dragon in front of a mirror looking at themselves? Another thing I definitely want to point out for those of you who are getting a bearded dragon, they change over time. So their behavior, their eating habits, everything change over time. For instance, when I had Fitz and he was a baby, he used to eat so much. I was like, wow, my lizard's eating so much. And whenever I held Fitz, he was very calm and he wanted to be on me. Fitz started not liking some vegetables. She was more squeamish when she got on me. Now she really doesn't want to stay on me, as you can see. She's very picky with her vegetables. So whether it's you changing the habits of the bearded dragon or them changing on their own, it is more than likely going to happen that they will change from when they're a juvenile to an adult. Also, before getting a bearded dragon, you're going to want to understand their cost. So it's not cheap to buy a bearded dragon, especially when you're first buying them. I think my dad had to spend around $300 or $400 just to get Fitz, his enclosure, the food, I was going to say clothes, and everything she needed. So before you get them, whether you're paying for it or whether your parents are helping you pay for it, I would definitely understand the cost, because it is not cheap to buy these animals. I also plan on making a cost video so you guys who want to get a bearded dragon can know more of the in-depth and what's going to cost the most and what's going to cost the least, and even things you want that are optional but don't need. Another thing is you want to understand the time and attention they need. Bearded dragons, like any other animals, they definitely do need attention and they need your time, because if you don't give them time and you pretty much, neglect their presence, then they can be raised aggressive, and that's what we don't want. When they're young, you definitely want to start the, groove of you holding them. If you want when they're older to be more comfortable with people socializing with them, you want to start that off at a young age. You definitely want to give them the love that you have for them. You definitely want to express that and be around them, let you know they're there. Because even though bearded dragons like to be alone in their tank themselves, not with another bearded dragon most of the time, they do like to see a human presence and it makes them happy. Another thing, good luck finding a steady vegetable to feed them, because I know this is a problem with bearded dragon owners. The first 2 months they'll be great with collard greens, but then all of a sudden they'll be like, oh wait, I don't like these anymore. Then you'll have to experiment with every type of green, and then you'll eventually run out of greens to experiment with. So you gotta mix them. You have to try putting fruits over them. Trust me, I made the vegetable video, like putting fruits, mixing them with treats, because bearded dragons, they can be very picky with vegetables. If you're one of the many bearded dragon owners that your bearded dragon actually keeps a steady diet and doesn't need change or anything, you're very lucky, because Fitz's diet, just looking at me right now but her diet has been off the charts lately. Sometimes she doesn't eat collard greens, sometimes she doesn't eat kale. I just bought escarole for her the other day. I must have fed her every vegetable in the book, and I'm still trying to find the one she wants. So that's also another thing regarding time, like definitely adapting to their eating habits and making sure they have the correct diet and getting fed what they need to be fed is a process. Another thing, they hibernate. So like squirrels and any other animal, not really going to go into depth with that, but they do hibernate. And if your bearded dragon hibernates on schedule and hibernates in the winter, unlike Fitz, you know, hibernating half the time in the summer and the spring and doesn't hibernate at all in the winter, then you're definitely going to want to do research. You guys already know my struggles with hibernation. Well, it's called brumation for bearded dragons. You guys already know my struggle. I have a video on that too. You're going to literally make sure you cover the front and back of brumation. You want to make sure you know it by heart. Also, I just wanted to point out that during brumation and even shedding, you're going to mistake them being sick for those times. So your bearded dragon may be acting weird. They may not use the bathroom. They may be lethargic. They may not eat. Majority of the time, it's just because they're going to brumate or shed. So definitely look your research up on those two as well. And last but not least, when you get your bearded dragon, you're going to want to make sure you tame them. So if you're getting a baby bearded dragon, I already made a video about that. You can look up here and you can click on that to help, you know, bond with your bearded dragon and get them used to you, especially if you don't want them raised aggressive. I mean, even if they are juvenile and they, you know, you bought them aggressive, that's okay. You can always change them to the nice bearded dragon like Fitz. And even taming, which means, you know, occasionally hand feeding them, petting them, getting them used to you being around, getting them used to being held. That's pretty much how you tame them, but I go into much more detail in the other video. So that's another thing you want to do. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for the video, and I hope you all enjoyed and I hope this was helpful. And don't forget to make sure you check out Mia's channel as well. Why are you closing your eyes? It's not the time to sleep. Oh, my hair. Thumbnail? No? No, ow. You know what?